what we got here is a pretty darn well-made solar light for the front of your house, or anywhere on your property actually. It's all metal except for the plastic bottom, and it's pretty big. You can also choose high and low, and you can choose cool or warm white LEDs. So if you want that nice pure daylight white color, or if you want that nice golden glow of an old style incandescent bulb, you can pick. Waterproof switches. It's dead now, I have to charge it, but you have a off, high, and low switch here, and you have a selector between warm and cold here. I will probably leave mine on cool. I like the daylight white color. What's interesting is how you mount it. I'd like a little more of a rigid mount, but it's not bad. So basically you have this little bracket. Now keep in mind, this is all metal too. That's metal, 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 metal. You have 3 pieces. There's a screw in each one and a hole in each one. You take the screw out, slide them together, put the screw back in. And now those 2 metal pieces are solidly joined together. The bottom just threads in. So that literally just screws in. And this is all metal. I mean, you can... vampire? Take care of that with a little silver paint on the end there. You know. But you can leave it short. So leave off these 2 if you want it short. Put 2 on or put 3 on. Whatever length you want. I'm going to use tall. Now what's neat though is that you can attach this bracket to 3 different locations. So you can either attach it here to center mount it, here to side mount it, or here to corner mount it. So if it's along a driveway, you're probably going to use this one, since you want most of that light going onto the driveway. And if your driveway turns and this is going at the corner, you're probably going to want to use the corner mount, so that it sticks out of the corner of your driveway to look a lot nicer. Or if you just want to center mount it, it's in your lawn in front of your house and you want to have both sides, you use the center mount. I'm going to use the side mount and use this along the driveway. Inside is also pretty cool. Well, first, glass solar panel. It feels like a glass panel, no encapsulation, so that solar panel should last quite a while. Also, big credit to the manufacturer for being honest. There's a little slip of paper, a little red slip of paper inside of there, with the rest of the paperwork, that says, by the way, every 2 to 3 years you might have to replace the battery when the charge duration doesn't last long enough anymore, because these batteries do degrade. So them being honest about that and telling you, hey, you're only going to last 2 or 3 years and you're going to have to replace that battery, that's pretty darn cool. Now that's where I'm not super happy. Now I do notice this. That's pretty cool. And I suspect that's to warn you that's where the battery is, so please don't try to drill through there. I can't think of any other reason to do that, because that is where the battery is. So inside here we have the setup. So here is your charging circuit and your power control module. This is your lithium battery with a protection circuit built in. JST plugs like you use for your RC airplanes. Also JST plug going to the solar panel, and it is weather sealed. So that's pretty cool. I can unplug any part of this and plug it back in again, which means the battery is replaceable if you can find one. It is a standard 2000 milliamp 3.7 volt lithium polymer battery, so you can just replace it with a similar battery. Just make sure it's about that thickness so it'll fit inside of the shell. I might actually 3D print a ring to go in here to thicken this up just a couple of millimeters, because it should be possible to put an 18650 in here. Being able to use a standardized 18650 in a little battery holder would be pretty darn convenient. I would like that a lot. I can just put a JST connector on an 18650 holder, put the 18650 holder in there, seal it in, and be done with it. If there's any 2000 milliamp 14500s, that'd be even better, because that is AA size, and that looks like it will fit in there. I think a AA will fit. Not 100% sure on that. Let's find out. That's easy enough to find out. So where do we have room? We should have room right there. And no, a 14500 does not fit in there, so an 18650 also will not fit in there, so I will have to 3D print an expansion ring to move this away from the unit. So basically, instead of it sitting like this, it would sit like this. It would sit out a little further. Might be easier just to put a hole here the size of an 18650 and 3D print a dome to fit over that and cover it so that the battery can protrude out. That would mean you wouldn't have to replace all of these screws with longer screws. But I would like to see the manufacturer update this to use an 18650. That would require them to make this thicker. But that would be easy enough to make the mold for this. To have a bump here to allow space for an 18650. That would be preferred. But in general, I'm impressed. It's pretty nice. Everything is modular. Everything is unscrewable. Everything looks like high quality. It's all metal. There is a seal on the inside there for weatherproofing. Not a problem where I live. It's very dry here in New Mexico. But if you live in a more humid climate, you're going to appreciate all the weather sealing. I like the fact that everything uses plugs. So you can unplug the battery and you can unplug the solar panel. So if you want to work on this unit, you can separate the two. And you can work on this unit without being tethered to the solar panel. And then it's a simple JST plug that plugs back in between the solar panel. And it's long enough. They didn't go the route of using just barely enough cable. You can see I have plenty of cable there to play with it and mess with it so that I'm not struggling to get it all to fit in there. Good job. Very, very good job. It's one of the better designed solar lights I've ever touched. And I appreciate that. And after I charge it up for a couple days, I will update my review with pictures of it lit up at night. And of course, I will come back to you later in time with how it's performing and how it works after a while. Although I don't anticipate a problem with something made of solid steel. It's pretty well made.